and that kind of moves us into what I wanted to talk about next, which is the topic of the day, which is your main event title fight here coming up at CageZilla 83. It's a middleweight title fight, February 22nd here at the Salisbury Center. I commentated your last fight and your victory inside the CageZilla cage. You mix your kicks and punches up really nice. You didn't appear to be in any danger really throughout the whole fight, and ended up ultimately getting to the guy's back and finishing the fight. You're going up against a tough opponent as well in Julio and Julio Brody. He's fought with us in the CageZilla cage before. He's been victorious here as well. Tell us, Randy, what, if anything, do you know about him? I know he's got a little more fight footage out there. Have you been able to study him at all? And maybe what can you share with us that you've been able to observe?
Well, realistically, I'm not going to share much of what I've observed, but I have been watching him. I have been studying. I got to see his last fight in person. We actually came down to Virginia back in December, and we were trying to get me matched up. Couldn't get a fight, so we showed up, had my paperwork and everything.
Oh, wow.
It was like, I'll fight anybody in the building. And the only person that actually made eye contact with me was him. So this is like divine intervention,
Yeah.
It was meant to happen. The only person that looked me in my face at that moment is him. So this fight was meant to be.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know that. When I was putting this fight together, and I guess you had observed that. So that's a keen observation on your end, to kind of see that and remember that. And maybe he remembers that moment as well. I know your coach, George.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah. When he hears this, he will. I'm sure your coach, George Gurgel, is happy for it. He was really trying to line you up for a title fight and get you in here. He was kind of, insinuating that he was having a hard time getting you a fight. It's kind of, people don't want to fight you. So
that's how it felt. We came down. It was like, hey, he'll fight anybody in here. It was silence.
Crickets. Yeah.
But
yeah. Was Julio fighting that night?
He was fighting the following night. And in the event that his opponent wasn't going to make it, we told him that we would take that fight as well. The following night. So that was Friday. We told him we would fight on Saturday. So now here we are 2 months later fighting. So
wow.
Happy for it. Shout out to him and his team. We very much appreciate it. We're coming down 9 hours driving for a fight to fight anybody. So we really, truly appreciate it. Both me and Ben, because Ben also couldn't find a fight that time frame. So it's good that we're getting out there,
Absolutely, man. Yeah, no, I feel, as the matchmaker, I feel even better now that you kind of told me the backstory on all this, and kind of you guys having trouble getting this, and I was able to match them up. I don't want to take too much credit, but I was able to match you guys up pretty easily, and put these title fights together. So man, I'm really happy to be.
There's times when you have, sorry to cut you off. There's times when you have guys that are willing to fight and want to fight.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what you have now.
Yeah.
Whereas like a month ago when it's like, hey, I'm trying to find a fight, and crickets, you can't get anything. Or you got my boy Ben trying to find a fight, we can't find anything. You had Will trying to find a fight. So you have all three of us trying to find a fight, and it's like months and months are going by, and we're just sitting there like, do we have one? Do we have one? Do we have one?
Yeah.
So